Hello, friends. Adrienne Harris here. I just wanted to pop on quickly and talk to you a little bit about our energetics that we're kind of going through in the month of August. So, if you don't know me, hi, my name's Adrienne Harris. I am a professional numerologist, I am an empowerment coach, and a soul path guide. And I want to talk to you a little bit about August energy. So, first off, everybody's talking about 8-8. And I love that people are understanding that numerology is here to stay. I'm really happy to see that. However, I'm a little bit torn with what people are saying. It's all about abundance and da 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 and all the things. And yes, I do believe that abundance, you can have abundance, but one of the really big things that I've been looking at is capacity. So, let's talk about the Pythagorean numerology first, and then I want to get into some other numerology that I work with, which is called Book of Life. So, number one, the numerology of August is a 9. We take the 2 plus 2 plus 6, which equals 10. We take the 8 energy from August and we add that on, and that equals 18. So 1 plus 8 equals 9. Okay, so that's how we get to the energetics of August. It's a 9 energy. A lot of people don't realize that the 9 energy is when the butterfly is learning how to flap its wings. But eventually, the butterfly will die because that's its normal cycle. And so, some people have, when we talk about 9 energy, we talk about endings, we talk about all these other kinds of things. But I just kind of want to read from the numerology planner that we have here. So, the 9 energy is about completion. It is about humanity. It is about service to others. It's about being introspective and releasing. It's about confidence. It's about capacity. Because when you think about 9, the numbers in numerology go 1 through 9. And so when we have this progression of numbers, some people have a really hard time with closing out a cycle. And I get it. Not everybody likes change. I totally hear you. However, we have to have one door that closes before another door that opens. And that energy is September. September is a 1 energy in numerology, which is all about new ideas, inspiration, curiosity, fresh ideas, innovative solutions, those kinds of things, okay? And so when we feel these endings, and I will let you know, numerology is just energetic based. Everyone says, "Oh, how can you be a numerologist? The calendar is fake, blah blah blah." You know what? It is just energy. And so if you want to think about the energy that we're working with, no matter if we're on a 13-month calendar or not, it is all just energy. And so you have the ability and the capacity to work with it. And so 8-8 energy is much more about a balance. Okay. It's a balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. It is a balance between ego and soul. It is a balance between, materialism and manifesting. Okay. So there's a lot of different balances that are going on with the 8 energy. So the reason I'm coming to you, because I'm actually doing a talk on this, on the 8-8 energy. So I'm just going to grab my notes here. So it is this, we have this spiritual and we have this material world. And right now it's trying to find its finite and its finesse. And if you want to think about the 8 energy, it is like, looks like an hourglass, right? So the bottom part of the hourglass is our past, and the top of the hourglass is our future. And right in the middle, where we have this crossover, is the present moment. And we need to learn how to live in the present moment. I will say that the 8-8 portal is what is your capacity to receive? If you have not done the work, you're going to have a difficult time because if your nervous system is not wired to be able to receive, then it's not going to do so well. If you have a hard time with visibility, you're not going to do so well. If you don't know if you aren't in alignment with your values, you're going to struggle. Okay, this is what I mean. Numerology is just an amazing tool to see your conscious and your unconscious way of living. This is why I've just created a new download. You can go to my website, adrianharris.ca, and get the new Your Empath Blueprint. Because as an empath myself, I didn't resonate with all of the energetics. And so what I did was I created one for myself because I really wanted to understand myself through the lens of being a people pleaser, taking care of everybody else, taking responsibility for other people's feelings, all of those kinds of things. Those are typical things that empaths do. So let's just shift gears because that is the Pythagorean numerology. Okay. So Pythagoras, he's a dude. We work with him. Now, there's one system that is not talked about, and that is this system right here in the deck of cards. So I work with a system called Destiny of the Cards, Book of Numerology. We call it, as numerologists, call it the Astro Numerology system. And what I'm here to share with you is that we have 52 cards. We have 52 weeks in a year. Okay. And so if we take a look at those 52 cards, each week is governed by a card. So I think we are in the 35th week. Yeah, I think 35th to 36th. Anyways, it is a Six of Diamonds week. And I want to talk to you a little bit about this energy because the Six of Diamonds is all about living in alignment. It is a karmic card. And the Six of Diamonds represents responsibility. And it is the kind of card that it will leave you exhausted if you are carrying everyone else's needs. But it's also the card that can create harmony if you're living in alignment with your values. And so this is where many of us were taught that being responsible literally meant self-sacrificing ourselves. But true responsibility comes from taking ownership of your thoughts, your choices, your energy, and the life that you are creating. So sit with yourself, especially this week. This is the first week of August. Soon as we go into next week, it's going to be a Seven of Diamonds. We've got an Eight of Diamonds, and then we have a Nine of Diamonds at the end of the month. And by the way, all of this stuff is in the amazing numerology calendar that my mentee Jessie has created. So each week is governed by an energetic, and we have a little mantra. Jessie's working on the calendar for next year. And so wait a few months and that will be out soon. But each week has a weekly affirmation. So for this week is bum, bum, bum. I give and receive generously, knowing that energy always returns in balance. Prosperity flows through me and to me with ease. And so I want you to just reflect as we head into this month. Where are you taking responsibility for things that aren't yours to carry? What area of your life is asking for greater integrity and alignment? How are you honoring your own needs along the needs of others? What resources and gifts and opportunities have you been overlooking? This is like if you could just make one intentional choice that could create more harmony in your life just this week, this would be amazing. Because as we go through the rest of the month, next week we hit a Seven of Diamonds. The next week we hit an Eight of Diamonds, and we finish off this week with a Nine of Diamonds. And I will let you know that the Nine of Diamonds is all about letting go. And I mean it in a nice way. But the nine of diamonds is I release what no longer serves my highest values by making space. I invite true abundance into my life. And so we as a society, as a collective, we are going through a massive shift right now. And this nine energy wants you to let go. It wants you to be able to close that door so that you can open up to something new. And those of us who read energy, those of us who support people in this world need to understand that numerology is just the art of reading energy and being intuitive. We utilize these cards every time every time I use my deck of cards, which I absolutely love. I will go ahead and I will shuffle. And I usually only shuffle and I only bring out usually two cards. I just allow to come out whatever wants to come out. And it usually jumps out at me because they love speaking to me. But one of the big things is that when I utilize cards like this, it is like, what is the challenge and what is the reward? That's kind of one of the main basics ways to use this. And if you're looking for any information on these, this is what I do with inside my Soulful Connections community. So our challenge is the Seven of Diamonds, and our reward is the Nine of Hearts. So we can think about this two ways. So the Seven of Diamonds is all about, we can look at it from this perspective where we feel the pips are on the bottom and we've got stability. Okay. Or we can flip it upside down and we can think about it where the pips are on top here. The Seven of Diamonds is all tied to trusting in your value. And also, it is a very spiritual card. And so, if this is our challenge where a lot of us don't trust our value, and we are in the thick of diamond season right now, this is where I would say to you is that what can you do to value yourself more? Because that's the challenge of what's going on in humanity right now. However, we've got the Nine of Hearts, and I love the Nine of Hearts because it is a very happy nine. Yes, it is about releasing old relationships and so on and so forth, but it is also the humanitarian. It is the humanitarian card. So when I see people, these actually two cards go together in our deck because they are semi-fixed cards, and the two of them. So anyone who has this card as their karma, and anyone who has this card as their karma. So they're like karmic cousins, and so they go hand in hand. I love that I picked these two cards. So, anyways, I'm going to finish off here and just say that the nine energy is not one to be feared. It is one to embrace. It is one to, sit with and go, what don't I want in my life anymore? What can I let go of? And really, what can I start that's something new? What's something that's exciting? So if you guys ever have any questions about numerology, about energetic updates, about anything that's going on in this world, please feel free to reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help guide your soul. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon, guys. Take care. Bye for now.